Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a couple weeks since I've uploaded, but we are back with episode 6 of the Ghost Cast. So sit back, relax, and get ready. Let's go. Welcome back, returning viewers. And if you're new here, my name is Ghost, and this is the Ghost Cast, where I try to bring light to the unknown of the weird and strange out there. Before we get going any further, be sure you hit that subscribe button so you can be informed when new videos are uploaded, and also hit that thumbs up button if you like the channel and if you like the videos. Before we get moving any farther into the episode, I want to give a big thank you to everybody that's been sharing, liking, and subscribing. We have hit over 500 subscribers here, and it's pretty damn cool because I wasn't expecting to go this far, and these videos have been taken off, and all the positive feedback I've been getting, people saying that, you know, I found my calling, I found where I fit in at, and people are enjoying what I'm putting out there. But also with that, there also comes the people that don't enjoy this, or they enjoy being trolls and they enjoy just talking smack on the comment section, which is completely fine because every little bit of comments, every like, every dislike, everything helps this channel grow, and that's a plus. But either way, thank you to everybody that has helped me reach the 500 subscriber mark. We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers and moving forward here on YouTube. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Just to let you guys know, I also stream over on Twitch, twitch.tv/ghostog_87. I stream as much horror games as possible, and right now I'm streaming Biohazard Resident Evil 7. So if you guys want to come over and check that out, I don't have a set schedule as of right now, but I am working on it. Tonight we're going to be covering a cryptid that was brought to my attention by a viewer known as Mr. Joe 34567. Mr. Joe, thank you for bringing this up. This is only one of 2 that he brought to my attention, and I was going to cover both of them, but this one drags on. It doesn't drag on, but it's a little more lengthy than I thought. So we're going to cover this one, and then episode 7, we're going to cover the next one that he brought up. So thank you again, Mr. Joe, for bringing this to my attention. Along with this, we're going to be going into urban legends and paranormal stuff and anything else that's weird and unknown. And I'm going to try to do my best to bring you guys some information on the stuff. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, sit back, relax, and let's dive into it. We're heading to Enfield, Illinois, the early 1970s, to a weird cryptid monstrous creature that is said to lurk around a small town. Enfield, Illinois is a little town in southern Illinois that is said to house a creepy, monstrous cryptid that I thought was just going to be a small little story, and it ended up coming into more than one encounter and some back lore on it that ventured over to another type of cryptid seen not too far from this small town. So late one April night in 1973, a man known by the name of Henry McDaniel returned to his home with his wife, where they were greeted by their 2 children, and that their children were eager to tell them about something that happened while they were gone. What was happening while the parents were gone from the house, the children encountered something scratching at their front door, trying to make its way into the house. Shortly after, McDaniel himself started noticing a scratching at the front door as well that same night. And what he thought it might be a dog, a cat, something of a wild animal that was normal, like a raccoon or a coyote or something around that area that could just be explained in a normal way. But what he found out was something much more terrifying than he could have ever imagined. As he approached the door to see what was scratching at the door, what he saw made him react in a way to slamming the door, running, grabbing his .22 pistol and a flashlight, and quickly started to fire upon this creature that was scratching at the door. Firing his weapon 4 times at this supposedly cryptid creature, he says, and I quote, "When I fired the first shot, I know I hit him," unquote. According to the report, after McDaniel fired and hit the creature, he says that the creature let out a very loud hissing sound, which to him indicated that he did hit the creature upon the 4 times of firing at the creature. While the creature was making an attempt to get away, in 3 large leaps, McDaniel says this creature covered an area of 50 feet in just 3 leaps, making its way to the tree line and disappearing into the woods. What McDaniel saw, he says it was something that had, and I quote, had 3 legs, a short body, 2 little short arms, and 2 pink eyes as big as flashlights. It stood 4.5 feet tall and was a grayish colored creature, unquote. Now, of course, after McDaniel encountered the creature, he called local authorities, and the authorities showed up with something else that they had encountered previously that night. Now, state troopers arrived, and what they found were scratches at the door of what McDaniel was saying was happening, and also footprints were found around the property. The weird thing is that these footprints had 6 toes instead of the normal 4 toes that a canine would have. Now, it's getting a little weird, a little strange, but it gets even more stranger with the upcoming facts, or supposedly known facts, that I found. So 30 minutes earlier, prior to this incident with McDaniel, they were called to a scene of a young boy being attacked by the creature that ripped its clothes to shreds. They said the creature had talons on its toes and claws on its arms, but the authorities couldn't find any trace of the creature in the area. So for a while, things cooled down, but not for too long. So let's fast forward to May 6th. All right. So things happened prior to May 6th, the scratching at McDaniel's door, the attack on the young boy, its clothes ripped to shreds, and footprints were found, scratches were found, and McDaniel said that this creature cleared over 50 feet in just 3 leaps. When I was reading about this, the first thing I started to think about after I read the whole leaping thing, I thought kangaroos, but it's Illinois. And I don't know if back in the 1970s, how big zoos were. The thing is, I was thinking maybe a zoo escaped kangaroo, but you know, how much were kangaroos transported back then? And were there kangaroos down there? I have no idea. But that's what I thought of, was maybe kangaroo, and just the nightshade made the kangaroo look like, you know, the 3rd leg on it was probably the tail, which there was a incident report, not incident report, but there was a report stating that some believed it to be a kangaroo as well, because how big the tail is on a kangaroo, they thought, you know, maybe that was the 3rd leg of it. So back to the May 6th incident, 3 a.m., back at the McDaniels household, he had another encounter with this creature, and he was awoken by his neighbor's dogs barking, and he noticed this creature running around by the train tracks. For several minutes, he saw it running around before it took off into the tree line again. McDaniels later stated about this May 6th incident, quote, "I saw something moving on the railroad track, and there it stood. I didn't shoot at it or anything. It started on down the railroad track. It wasn't in a hurry or anything else," unquote. Soon after these reports and these sightings from the McDaniel household, it moved forward, and the word got out about the Enfield monster. It got around, got people curious of what was going on, and soon people started flocking to this small town in hopes of catching a glimpse of this supposedly 3-legged, 2-armed, clawed, spiky beast. And what was found out and what was spotted, I leave it up to you to decide if it's true or not, or if it actually happened, or what you think. Because like I said before in past episodes, I don't claim everything I read about and everything I bring to you guys is absolute truth. There's myths, there's legends out there, and it's just fun to dive into it all and see the weird shit out there. So keep an open mind, all right? The crowds of tourists grew larger and larger, but it started bringing worry to the locals of the small town Enfield. With these large groups of tourists coming, there were some sightings. 2 of these tourists that say and, you know, state that they did see the sighting of the Enfield monster, which were hunters, by the way. So with it being hunters, I'm assuming they have seen a lot, they have heard a lot, and they've hunted, you know, at all different times of the day. So maybe taking their word is a little good, you know, that's a good thing, or take it with a grain of salt. So the 2 hunters that claim they seen this creature, They claim they saw a gray monkey moving quickly in the underbush, and that's all they saw at that point. But once again, McDaniel, however, was very convinced that there was something strange going on in his little local town and believed that this monster was out there in the woods around them. But we also have more reports coming from May 6th, and this also comes from a man from a radio station from Kokomo, Indiana. And he has reports and statements that he saw this creature as well. So on May 6th, same as the last encounter that McDaniel saw this creature for a second time, a man of the name Rick Rainbow, at the time, he was the director of the radio station WWKI in Kokomo, Indiana. He was out with his friends in Enfield, Illinois, and they were searching over the area, trying to find sights of this creature and hoping to see a glimpse of it. And all of a sudden, they saw something out there that was around what they say was 5.5 feet tall, gray, stooped over, running through the woods, near an area that was close to the McDaniel household. They say that the creature moved at such a fast-paced speed, Rainbow and his friends lost sight of the creature, but not before they heard what sounded like a screech come from it. Rainbow claims to have recorded the screech of the creature on tape recorder, but I've not been able to find any audio versions of that, and I highly doubt it was uploaded to the internet after years. And also, a known cryptozoologist that goes by the name of Loren Coleman traveled to Enfield, Illinois to do their own investigation on the Enfield monster. Coleman states that he heard cries of this so-called Enfield monster and also made a statement to the press, quote, "I traveled to Enfield, interviewed the witnesses, looked at the siding of the houses the Enfield monster had damaged, heard some strange screeching, banshee-like sounds, and walked away bewildered," unquote. But with everything that could be done at the time to try and locate this monster, nothing came up. And since then, this Enfield monster has not been heard from or seen from since. So a known cryptozoologist, some hunters, say they spotted this creature. The hunters, I would take, a little bit more soluble word over because, well, they're hunters. They've seen everything that they could probably seen out in those woods. And then you get a cryptozoologist that, studies animals. So maybe there's truth to the story. Maybe the facts are real. What they did see, everything they tried to do to find this creature came up with nothing. So that creature has not been heard from or seen from since then. So from what I could find out, around May of 1973 is when this creature, just went up and missing and hiding again, which is what most of those creatures do anyway. That, like Bigfoot, the Yeti, Loch Ness Monster, Mothman. Yeah, they're out there. They're supposedly out there, but they're hiding. So since the creature, the Enfield monster, hasn't been heard from or seen from since May of 1973, people speculate that this might have ties to a creature that was spotted between 1941 and 1942 in a town about 40 miles from Enfield, Illinois, in a small town called Mount Vernon. Now, Mount Vernon had some run-ins with something similar, and even though it was 30 years prior to the Enfield monster incident and sightings, the local townspeople of Mount Vernon state that this creature had a stride between 30 and 40 feet, had a baboon-like feature, and moved very much similar to the Enfield monster. This Mount Vernon monster was known to terrorize local people, terrorize animals, and between 1941 and 1942, it was spotted around the town. Now, I didn't dive too far into that one, but I plan on it to add to this episode. What if it does have a area around there that, it localizes and it just moves around and about, even though there is a 30-year gap there? Who knows? But like I said, everything that I talk about here does not state that it's true, that it actually happened. This is just everything I've been able to find through research. If you know anything more, please let me know. You can email me at ghostcast87@gmail.com and we can discuss it. And or you can add me on Discord and we can even discuss it over voice chat. And I'm even looking towards bringing people on for recordings and maybe some live streams through Discord video chat or voice chat. If there's anyone out there that would like to sit down and discuss things, it would be pretty awesome, I think. But in the end of all this, just like every other episode, I leave it to you to decide whether you believe it or you think it's just all bullshit. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, and make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you like the video. Hit the thumbs down too, even if you didn't like the video. It helps the algorithm. But definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel. But I want to give another shout out to Mr. Joe 34567 for bringing this cryptid to my attention, and I will be covering the other one that you brought up. I think it was something about gnomes. We're gonna look into that, and we're gonna bring up episode 7 with some gnomes. And I know some people that love gnomes and get absolutely terrified by them. As always, if you have anything about urban legends, paranormal, or crazy weird cryptids, or just crazy weird stories, feel free to email me at ghostcast87@gmail.com. But that's all I have for you guys tonight. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, and sharing it to your friends. So until next time, I'm Ghost. This has been another Ghostcast, bringing light to the unknown. And I thank you guys again for the 500 subscribers and all the love. So I'll see you guys later. Take care.